Hi beauties, welcome back to the Lady M Beauty channel. My name is Melissa. I go by the name Lady M Beauty online. If you are a lover of all things luxury, beauty, and lifestyle, then be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Would love to have you join the Lady M Beauty fam. Today, we're going to be escaping to the south of France with the Hot Escapes NARS Summer Collection. That's what we're going to be doing today. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick review, first impressions, and I'm going to be demoing these products with you live on camera. And I'm also going to be sharing my final thoughts with you. So grab you a latte and let's get glowing with NARS Hot Escape Summer Collection. All right, so we're getting into the latest collection from NARS. Do you have your tickets to Biarritz? Well, that's what we got today. I am super excited to be sharing this with you. I also did a review on their summer collection from last year, so be sure to check that video out. And let's just go ahead and start reviewing our latest summer drop from NARS. Last summer, that palette was Chef's Kiss. It did not disappoint. I have used that palette literally for the whole entire year. I actually hit pan on the bronzer that was in there, and I went out and picked up that bronzer because that has been my ride or die bronzer. So let's just see if this summer palette lives up to the hype, the performance, the pigmentation, all that jazz. I'm going to be giving you my honest thoughts in today's video. So it says, Sea, Sun, Surf, escape from reality with the new collection for eyes, lips, and cheeks that captures the understated essence of summer in Biarritz. One of the founder and creative director, Francois NARS most treasured destination. So we're gonna dive into Shine with the shimmering Total Seduction eyeshadow sticks. The claims are to be fallout-free, crease-resistant color, and they pack a punch. In last summer's video, I did pick up one of the eyeshadow sticks. So I have 5 of them total, and I picked up 4 new ones in today's video. Then we're going to plunge into color. We're going to enter resort mode with the limited edition Hot Escape cheek palettes featuring sun-inspired shades of blush, bronzer, and highlights. There are 4 palettes. There's a light, there's a medium deep, and there's a deep palette. I have a photo of the entire collection here, so check that out. But I picked up the medium deep and the deep palettes, and I couldn't decide between the two. Actually, I wasn't sure if the medium deep palette would work for me. The bronzer looks a little bit light, but lo and behold, I have a surprise for you about that palette, and I'm gonna let you know which one is my favorite palette. And then lastly, we have in the collection, we have the High Shine, High Style Slip into Pure Bliss with Hot Escapes Afterglow lip oils. They're smooth and they have a nice seductive sheen. There are 4 glosses or lip oils in this collection, and I picked up 2. And we're gonna be getting into that today. I got some swatches for you, and then I'm actually gonna demo applying one of the palettes. I already have all my foundation, concealer. I set my entire face. So we're going to be getting into this together. All right. So here are the 2 cheek palettes that I picked up. And you could just see the packaging is definitely giving you South of France vibes. It's colorful. It's just amazing. So the color also kind of tells you, the palette color tells you what the palette is. So this is the medium deep. And then I have the deep. And again, I just love the packaging. NARS just never really disappoints when it comes to packaging. So super, I was just like, oh my God, I can't. And then you can just see right there, that is a photo of what the shades on the inside are. So that's the palettes that we have. And again, I mentioned I picked up 4 of the eyeshadow, Total Seduction eyeshadow sticks. I already had one that I picked up from last year's collection. So I actually have 5. And then I have the 2 lip oils that I picked up. So now I have revealed what I have. Let's just go ahead and jump right into our swatches of the entire collection. All right, so this is the Deep palette, and I am going to show you what that palette looks like. So in the palette, you're getting a bronzer, you're getting a blush, and you're having like a matte blush, a shimmer blush, and then you have a highlight shade in the palette. So this palette has Teased, that's the blush. Unrated is gonna be your blush topper. Then you have the Total Escape highlighting powder, and then the bronzer that's in here is Laguna 08. So I'm gonna start with swatches, and then we're going to see what they look like. So this is the blush color. Oh my God, look at that. Pigment. This is Laguna 8 right there. And then this is the highlighter. And then beneath the highlighter is the blush topper. So there we have it. Blush, Laguna 8, the highlighter, and then we have the blush topper right there. So that's the swatches for the Deep palette. And then let's get into the Medium Deep palette. And here is that palette right there. And when I saw this, the immediate shade that stood out to me was this blush. It's this nice coral orangey kind of color. And I was like, oh my God, that is perfect for the summer. Perfect for the crease, that you can also use this in the crease of your lids. And then this beautiful blush. So that is the Medium Deep palette. Now let's get into swatches. I'm gonna put that on my other hand so we can take a look at that. And I'm gonna start with, put that down. This is the bronzer. This is 07. So like I said, I wasn't really sure how that was going to show up on me. You could see it like right there, not that much. This is the blush. Look at that nice orange color. This is the blush topper. And then this is the highlight shade. So this is medium deep right here. And then this is the Deep palette. And I believe you can interchange these palettes too. I can see the bronzer, but you probably can't see it. But to be fair, I used this bronzer all the time. This is Laguna 06, and this is Laguna 06 is in this palette, as well as Skinny Dip is gonna be the highlighter, and then Night Swim is the blush topper, Obsession is the blush, and then Laguna 6 is the bronzer. And just to show you guys, I love this bronzer. This is my everyday bronzer, and you can just see there is a nice little dent in the palette. And I picked this up last summer after I tried their summer collection from last year. Again, I'm gonna link the video here, so be sure to check that out. All right, now the shade of the shadow stick that I had from last year is Mambo, and I'm gonna swatch that here so that way you guys can see. I'm just going to keep going. So this is Mambo. That's Mambo right there. It's a nice, I would say it's like a chocolate brown. I use this all over my lid sometimes. So those are the shades of the eyeshadow stick. Mambo, Mind Games, Living Sin, Ablaze, and Hustle, if you guys can see that right there. And then lastly, for swatches, we have the 2 lip oils. And this is High Shine. These are sheer, so they're not going to really show up on the lids. lips, I would say. But I liked High Shine. I just like the color of it. So I believe this will probably look pretty with just a brown eyeliner, brown lip liner, sorry. And then this is High Life. I called it High Shine. It's High Life. I don't think you can see it, but my favorite is going to be Laguna. And I'm just going to swatch that next to High Life. So this is Laguna. You guys can see it's just this nice goldish looking lip oil. So again, very more on the sheer side. And so the Laguna, I believe, will work better with just like a lip liner, and you can keep it going. All right, so let's start with the bronzer. And like I showed you guys, I use this every day as my go-to bronzer. I should probably do 8 because I don't have that one, but I also wanted to just show you how this color shows up on my skin. Do you guys see that? That is 06. I'm gonna add that on this side, and then I'm just gonna deepen it up with the other bronzer in the other palette so you guys can see how much more depth you're able to get with that darker shade. But the medium deep, it works. I use this bronzer every day. And this will be a good base just to add into the crease. So what I'm gonna do is also just add this to my crease. Add this bronzer to my crease. You guys, see that? It's just so subtle. It's just the perfect, look at that. So subtle. All right, so then let's go in with 08, and I have to go in with a gentle hand. And I'm just going to add that to the outer corner of where I already placed. See that? Do you see how intense that got? Look at that. And so I just really focus this on the outside corner of my face. Look at that. Love that. And this one seems to be more on the redder side, whereas 6 seems to be more on the neutral side. So again, let's go in. I'm just packing that in. I'm not bringing it in much. I'm just adding it to the outer corner. And do you see the depth that I just got right there in the outer corner? Yes. So you can make it work. So 08 is giving right there. I'm gonna add a little bit on my forehead area. So just using it to add a little bit more depth. Just because I have both, but I believe that you could get that alone just from using the one medium deep palette, depending on which one you gravitate towards. All right, guys, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. You get more luxe reviews, more fragrance hauls, more hauls, all that jazz. I'm just gonna be bringing it to your vanity, so hit the subscribe button down below. All right, so what I did was I went in with 06 Laguna bronzer from the palette, and I applied that in my crease. I brought it down my nose, and that's what it's giving. Now I am going to go in with the blush Obsession. They have this is the perfect name for this blush. And all I'm gonna do is just add that color in to my crease area, just to give me a little summer vibes going on in my crease. Look how pretty that is. Do you see how it just adds the right amount of warmth in my crease? And to be honest, I could even put that shimmer lid, the shimmer, oh my God, what am I talking about, you guys? I could also go in and add that blush topper on my lid and call it a day. But I have so many shadow sticks that I want to use, so I am not going to use that. I am just going to use one of the shadow sticks on my lid. And I just love a good orange in the crease area. it just like does something to just add a little bit of burst of sunlight to the eyes. So bronzer shade and the Obsession shade in the crease. Look at that. Do you see how beautiful that looks? And it's a good way to tie in the cheeks to the eyes as well. So the stick that I am going to use, I am just gonna get Hustle, and I am going to add that all over the lid. And that is the perfect shade combination that we have for that. See that, how pretty that is? And all I'm gonna do is just take my finger. It's really hard because I have nails, but I'm just blending that out all over the lid. My little finger could get up in here. And you could just take a brush and just clean that up. And that's just exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the same brush that I'm using just to create a nice blend between the shadow stick and the lid. See that? That is all we're doing. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, and then we'll be back to test out the blush and the lip oil. All right, so now I am going to go in with the blush. So the shade, as I mentioned, is called Obsession, and you guys, it should be, look at that. It's just adding the right amount of warmth. Nice orangey kind of coral vibe. And I'm just trying to blend that in with the bronzer that we already have on, and it is giving. Look at that. See that? All right, I'm gonna add that on the other side. This is just giving. Summer glowy. I wouldn't say glowy yet because I haven't added the highlighter, but my face is just love. I'm in love. I love. Ooh. And just blending that all the way in. Look at that. Ooh. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of the highlight down my nose area. You guys, I don't really do highlighter. It's been a minute since your girl has done some highlighters, but I feel like this palette is giving me inspo. Now that I have a highlighter brush, this is a Sephora brush, and I am just going to brush that onto the high points of my cheeks. Look at that. Oh, baby. Okay. Woo! I'm not recognizing myself because, you guys, I couldn't tell you when was the last time that I did any sort of highlight. Like, look at that. It's just glowy, baby. All right, so I finished off the entire look with the Hot Escapes Cheek palette. And I also completed the look using the NARS Hot Escape 2025 Summer Collection. So let's get into my final thoughts. So in today's video, I was really wanting to test out the pigment, test out the hot cheeks. No, let me start over. All right, guys, I am back. I finished off the entire full face. And now let's get into my final thoughts. Please be sure to check the description box down below. I will have everything that I used on my face today in the description box for your reference in case you're interested in picking anything out or if you have any questions. So jump down to the description box to check out everything that I have on my face. Now let's get into my review of the Hot Escape Summer Collection for NARS for 2025. Now, I have to say that listen, NARS came through and they came for our coins. And I have to say that this collection is absolutely gorgeous. From the packaging, the pigmentation, the blendability, how they wear on my skin tone, and just how they put together the collection. That is what I am most pleased by. So let's start with the cheek palettes. So I picked up this palette because I love that color, and they were right to call that blush obsession, because that is going to be my summer obsession. Look at the blush. It is the perfect summer blush. So what I was thinking on this palette was I wasn't sure the bronzer was going to work for me. So I said, oh, I'll just pick up the deep palette and I could use that bronzer and use the rest of the shades in this palette because I really loved this color. This is the shade Obsession. This is the blush. So then when I looked deeper and I realized that, oh my God, no, I use this bronzer. And this is bronzer Laguna number 6. It's very subtle, very natural, very neutral color. But what I did, I went in with 08 from the deep palette and I just added it to the outer part of my cheek area to kind of just add a little bit more depth to the look, right? So that was what my only hesitation was with this palette, and lo and behold, I am pleasantly surprised by this bronzer. Now, if you are deeper skin tone, this bronzer is not going to work. You definitely have to go in with 08. But if you're in the medium deep area range of skin tone, then you will find that this is going to show up. And what I love about NARS bronzers is that they are buildable. So you can build it up to get more depth and to get more color payoff. But as far as pigment, chef's kiss. As far as blendability, chef's kiss. And I just believe that NARS hit it out the park with these Hot Cheeks palette for this year. Also, what I love is that it's broken up like they did last year. They had a medium deep and then they had a deep. I don't know if they had a deep or it was just medium to deep. But they had 2 palettes last year. And this year they have 4. And so I believe it's able to fit a wider variety of skin tones. And then this is all you need. Like, to take this, if you're traveling, you're going away for the weekend or you're traveling, you don't need anything else. I was able to wear the blush on my lid. I was able to wear the highlights on my lid. The only thing that I did not wear in this is the blush topper, and it's so gorgeous that I could have used this on my lid. I just really wanted to try the shadow sticks, and that is what I have on my lid. So as far as convenience, ease, one and done, if you're that kind of person that's just looking for a one and done kind of palette, then I recommend these, highly, highly recommend these. So Chef Kiss to NARS, these Hot Cheeks palettes are definitely a winner and a must-have for summer 2025. Now, I did swatches of these, so I'll insert those swatches for you here. And I used Hustle on my lid, which is this kind of copper-ish bronze kind of color, which is the perfect color for the summer. And then I went in with a Blaze, and a Blaze is what I have in my inner corner. So definitely more summer, daytime, even nighttime wearability. Mind the Games is gonna be what I would go if I wanted to add a little bit more depth. I could have used this in the outer corner, and this could also be all over the lid shade as well. So these are definitely worth it. Again, you can add this in with the cheek palettes to give you more options for your face and cheeks and eyes and what have you not. So love those. And then to the lip oils, I would say my only disappointment in these is that they're so sheer. So they don't show up much. You just have high shine, and I have high shine going on right now. I went in with a lip liner and then I just added in Laguna. So the only disappointment I have in this collection is gonna be the lip oils because they're just very sheer. I wish especially this color, I wish if it had a little bit more pigmentation to it just to show up more, and this would have been perfect to kind of tie everything together with this color on my lips. So my only disappointment in the collection is this, but hands down, this summer collection is definitely worthy of you picking up. You could choose whichever palette you need. I don't believe you need both. You just need one. I just wasn't sure how this was gonna perform. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this summer collection? Is it something that you're gonna skip, or is it something that you're gonna indulge in and splurge on? Let me know in the comments. And guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And also turn on your notification bells to be notified whenever I upload new videos. All right, everyone, have a good day.